We are back with another Shop My Stash video, and this time it is for the month of September. So I'm gonna go through and share with you guys all of the items that I have picked out for this month and let you know what I think about each and every one of them. And a little heads up for next month's Shop My Stash for October. I think I'm going to actually break it up into two parts because I did get a comment or two asking about seeing the actual shopping process for me, like picking out all of the items from my collection. So I was thinking maybe I will do a part one at the beginning of the month showing me actually shopping the collection, and then part two will actually be the end of the month and reviewing the actual item. So I think I'm gonna try that out for October, see how it goes. So little sneak peek for next month. But for this month, for the first week of September, these were all of my picks. So here's a quick little sneak peek, and we're gonna go through all of these. So starting off with the first item, we have the base primer product here. This one's called the Base Maker from UpHue, and this one is the green tinted one. I have done a few of the other ones before, but I definitely think that green is good to counteract like if you have any redness in your skin, but I definitely don't have that much, so it definitely did like kind of neutralize my skin a little bit, but really I didn't notice that much of a difference once I had my foundation on and everything. So I was just really kind of like using this to use it up. For some reason I got really into a lot of like color correctors back in the day, and I just bought a whole bunch of them and then I never really used them. So this one is okay. It does give like a slight kind of neutraling kind of effect, but overall I'm just kind of using it to use it up. Then for my foundation, this is one I've had for quite a while, and this one is from Etude House. It's called the Double Lasting Serum Foundation. Now I have before in the past used their Double Lasting Foundation, which is kind of like their matte long wear type of foundation. So this was like the serum version of that. This one does have a very like glossy, dewy kind of finish on the skin. It was a little bit less coverage as well, just to the nature of the finish of the product. I did like this one, however I do like the Double Lasting Foundation more. It has been so long since I've tried that foundation, so maybe once I kind of like cull down my collection a bit and use up some things, maybe I'll buy that one again in the future, but this one just wasn't my favorite. I liked it if I just wanted like a little bit of a color, but most times if I'm taking the time to put makeup on, I want it to like actually look like I'm wearing makeup. So I didn't really love this one. I just felt like lasting power didn't last very long and just didn't give a whole lot of coverage. But in the end, that is what you would expect from this product, so I'm not knocking it for that. I just didn't love it for me. For my concealer, once again, we are back to using the Lacura Bold Cover Concealer. I got this from Aldi randomly like a few years ago. I still really like this one. It's a really good color for me. I like the scent of it too. It has like a slight little, almost like a lily kind of smell. I don't know why, but I really like this one, so I am still a big fan of this one. Next up for the powder, we have the Ciate London Everyday Vacay Setting Powder. This one I am a big fan of, and I actually have used it up. I think I've got maybe like one more use or two out of here, so for all intents and purposes, I am considering this an empty, which is crazy because it takes me forever to go through powders or anything like that. So I actually took the little sifter cap out of here to get the last little bit of product. So I'm actually going to take this with me over the weekend and finish it up completely, but I do think I'm going to actually keep the packaging to put a different powder in because I really like the packaging of this one. So I'm so glad to have finished that one. We have another product that I have finished up. This one was one I have been using for a while, and this one was the e.l.f. Halo Glow Contour Wand. Yeah, Contour Beauty Wand is what they call it. And mine was in the color Fair Light. This one I have been using for so long. I actually did really enjoy this one. I like the color of it. I thought it was really nice. It blended well. However, I don't know if I'd buy this one again. I'm kind of like 50-50 because I always like trying new things, but I did actually like this one so much to the point that I actually did like cut it open to like try to scrape out as much product as I can from it, and then I just kept putting like this little binder clip on here to like, you know, kind of keep it from spilling out. But another product that I have used up. I didn't think I would have many empties this year because of the nature of like all my product rotation I've been doing, but I actually have been having quite a few and I'm very happy with myself for that. So since I kind of finished that product up kind of midway, I did do like a midweek swap in. This was the e.l.f. Skin Bronzing Drops. I did kind of play with doing this just as like a bronzer type of product or like a contour, kind of like just doing it on the edges of my face, which I think I definitely like it the most that way. But I also did use it to mix in with my foundation just a little bit because this one was just a little bit on the light side for me, so I did kind of mix it in there. Overall, I still don't know how I feel about these. I'm just kind of using it because I have them, but I definitely don't think I would purchase these again though. But they do have a very good, useful kind of multifunction. Then for my blush, I use the Sheglam Clear and Bright Liquid Blush. This one is in the color Luster. It was a liquid blush and it's like this really bright orangey kind of color, which I typically don't go for like orange blushes, but it did blend out quite nicely and just kind of gave like a warm flush to the skin. The only thing is that since I just like recently did like the silver hair again, I kind of feel like the really orange kind of clashed just a little bit, but I did overall still like this one. The formula is really easy to work with too, so I definitely really like that one. I just think I like it more when I have like blonder hair. Then for my highlighter, I used a powder highlighter and a loose powder highlighter. It's been so long since I've used one like this. This one I believe I got from like a BoxyCharm, and this one was from Artist Couture. They call this the Diamond Glow Powder in the color Purple Dream. So this one's interesting because it's kind of more of like a goldy orange with like a purpley pink shift to it. I actually do think it worked quite nicely with the blush color because it was kind of like that similar orangey kind of color. And I think that even though this is one that I probably wouldn't wear like a whole lot, it did actually look quite nice on my skin tone for it being a little bit more of like an out there kind of highlighter, like a reflexy kind of thing, but it was still pretty. It's just like one I don't feel like I would use that often. Next up for my eyeshadow primer, I used once again the Too Faced Shadow Insurance Mini. This has been lasting a long while. I've probably still got, I don't know, another month or so of use in here, so we're definitely gonna see that one come back around. Then for my eyeshadow products, I actually picked several like cream and liquid sticks and all kinds of things like that. I have to say I was kind of bad about not using those, but what I did use for most of the week was this palette from Wetnwild. This was actually one of their fantasy maker palettes, which they usually bring out around like Halloween time. And this one was called Mummy of the Year. And this one's actually a really pretty palette. I had it forever and like just really never used it. So even though it's a really kind of like out there color story, I definitely thought it was still so pretty. The only thing I would say is I wish there was like a medium matte brown, because really the only two like matte colors that I really used were the cream color here and the dark matte brown here. And I just feel like I wanted something a little bit lighter to like kind of blend in the crease, because this is very pigmented. So I would kind of go back and forth and mix these two together on my brush and then apply it to the lid to kind of get a lighter brown crease. So that was the only thing that I had to complain about, but otherwise like it was really pretty. I think the only colors I did not use for the week, I think I didn't use these two greens. I just didn't really do any bold looks, and I didn't use this brown shimmer, but everything else, oh, and I didn't use the matte yellow, but everything else I did use, and I thought it was so pretty. And honestly, I usually feel like the Wet n Wild like Halloween makeup typically like isn't very good quality, but I was very surprised at how pigmented and how well this performed. So for some of the other eyeshadow products that I used, this one was the e.l.f. Fine as Fleck Glitter Shadow in the color White Hot. I ended up only using this one day, but it is a very pretty kind of scattered glitter effect type of shadow, so that one only got used about one time. I do like these, but they're not my favorite when it comes to like this type of formula, but I still liked it, so that one is a pretty good one. Really quickly on the three products I did not end up using in the week, so I'm going to put these back in the rotation for a future week. So I have the Laura Mercier Caviar Stick Eyeshadow Mini Pencil. This one's in the color Strapless, which is kind of like an olivey goldy brown kind of color, just like an everyday one. I don't know why, I just kind of like forgot to use this one, so that didn't get used. Then I have a Colourpop Multichrome shadow, and this one is the Legend of Korra one in the color Air. It's like a pretty like gold to turquoise kind of duochrome, so that didn't get used. And then I didn't use the Colourpop Cream Gel Color in the color Maybe. I don't know if this one's still good or not, but I just did not use it. So we're gonna put these back in the rotation for a future week. And then I also forgot to use my Ulta gel eyeliner. This one was in the color Indigo. It's kind of like this like metally blue kind of color, which is very pretty. I just forgot to use it. So that one's going back into the rotation. But I did end up using this one week. This was the AOA Studio Buttercream Gel Eyeliner Shadow. This one's in the color Sweet 16. I unfortunately bought like several of these and had a few of them dry up, but this one I still had the little foil on, so it actually was still usable. So I did use that one week or one day during the week with the eyeshadow palette. I used that like blue color there, so that was really pretty. So I do want to try to like kind of prioritize using the cream products more because they are more prone to drying out sooner. So that one I thought was so pretty, and I don't want to let it go bad, but we will see. I will try my best to not let it go bad. Then for my liquid liner, once again, the Sheglam We Are All Stars Marilyn Monroe liquid liner. I used that one. For my brows, we used the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Gel in the color Taupe. I kind of wish this was more of like an angled brush tip rather than this kind of like pointed like spoolie brush. I just find that sometimes these spoolie brushes kind of like rip out my brow hairs. I know, it's weird. I wish it was more of like a pointed angled brush to like kind of paint on my eyebrows, but that is just my personal preference. And then for my lip combo, I actually really liked this combo. This was a good one. So for my lip liner, I have once again come back to my lip liner from Sheglam Wonka collection. This one's in the color, oh my god, this is teeny tiny, Brownie Bites. And I had recently like recycled all of my lip liners. So this one was one I've used before. It's a kind of like a chocolatey brown color, but it actually has a little bit of warmth to it. So if I apply it lightly, it's not like too intense on my lips. So I definitely really like that one, and I paired it with a lighter lipstick. That way the two would kind of blend together and kind of give me a more mid-tone kind of look. And this is the lipstick from Colored Rain Cosmetic called Socialite. This one was kind of borderline a little too light, so having that darker lip liner actually worked really well with this lip color. And then I topped it off with, once again, the Sheglam Wonka lip gloss. This one's in the color Brownie Bite as well, so it coordinated with the lip liner and kind of gave just a little bit more depth to the light lipstick. So overall, I actually really liked that combo a lot. And finally, for my setting spray for the week, this one was the Etude House Glow On Setting Spray. I really like this one. Not much to say about it, so you can definitely see I have made a bit of a dent in this one. So those are all of the products for week 1 for September. And moving on to week 2 of September, here's a little sneak peek of all these. So starting off for my primer, this is the Pure 4-in-1 Correcting Primer. This one I fell in love with when I got it in a BoxyCharm several years ago, and then I bought like 3 of them on sale from BoxyCharm, and then I like forgot about them. This one, to me, it's not really much of like a primer. It's more of like a lightweight moisturizer for me. So this one's really great for whenever like I forget to do a deep hydrating moisturizer in the morning, and this one just sinks into the skin so quickly. So for me, it's more moisturizer than primer, but I love this one a lot and glad to use it again. For my foundation for the week, this was the Peri Para Ink Skin Tint in number 1 Ivory Cover. This one was okay. I didn't love it though, and one thing that has really come to my attention now that I've been trying so many foundations back to back is that I really don't like the formulas. Obviously, that like when I put it onto my skin, I can see that there's foundation on my skin, and whenever at the end of the day when I come home and I look at my makeup in the mirror, I can always tell the foundations that do not last very well, and unfortunately this was one of them I didn't love. So I might in the future try to see if I can like mix this with something else, because in the process of trying a whole bunch of things I haven't tried before coming up in the next few weeks, I will show you there was a product that foundation wise I actually forgot how much I loved it. So this one unfortunately was not one of my favorites, but I'm still gonna try to like find a way to make it work in my collection. For my concealer, we are once again back to the Clean Color Velvet Moisturizing 3-in-1 Concealer. I don't like this at all. There's the stick concealer on one side, and then there is the liquid concealer on the other side. Overall, I just do not like this at all. So I definitely struggled through it. I'm trying to like figure out if there's another use for this that would be better for me, but for concealer, I hate it. I hate it. For my powder, we have another one of the Becca powders. I love this one. This is the Hydra Mist Set and Refresh powder, and this is the baby one. I am so close to finishing it up. I probably have maybe like, I don't know, maybe 3 more uses out of this one. So this one is gonna get continued to another week soon, but I am so close to finishing that one up, and I really love that one. For my bronzer for the week, I am back to the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Sun-Kissed Glow Bronzer in the color Fair 1. This one is like a moussey kind of bronzer. I love this one a lot. It's a really good formula, and I can't wait to come back to this one. Then for my blush for the week, we have the e.l.f. Camo Liquid Blush in the color Bold Face Lilac. This one is a pretty color, and I like it more with my silvery hair, but I do think that cool tone blushes don't necessarily flatter me the best, but I do still like this color. But whenever I do wear these like cooler tone colors, I'm always like, you know what, something a little warmer I think would suit me a little bit better. So that is like one of the realizations I've had in the last like couple years, but I definitely still have a lot of cool tone blushes. But formula wise, I actually quite like this one. It's a really good formula. It has a lot of pigmentation to it. It's very affordable, so I definitely really like the formula and the line as a whole. For my highlighter for the week, I did not like this at all. This was the Cover FX Glitter Drops. I think I got this from a BoxyCharm. This one's in the color, I almost said shake well before use. Okay, I do not actually see the color on here at all, but this one is like liquid glitter on your face. So I tried like doing this as a highlighter, but I did not like it for that reason, because it like has a very oily kind of texture to it, and it's super glittery, like not sparkle, not shimmer, it's glitter, which is I guess very aptly named glitter drop. So I did not like this at all. It's just too much. I'm not sure how I'm gonna make this work. Maybe I'll like mix it with like a body oil in the summertime or something, but for my face it's just way too much. I just don't like when you can see individual glitter particles on your face. For my brows, once again, back to the Misha Ultra Power Proof Cream Brow. This one is kind of growing on me a little bit more that I use it. It does have a little bit more of like a transparent kind of formula to it, but I do think color-wise it's still pretty good for my brows. So I do like this one. It is growing on me. Then for my eyeshadow primer, once again, we have the V Cosmetic Eyeshadow Primer. I don't really care for this one too much. I don't really think it does much either. So you guys know, I've talked about this a million times. For my palette, I have another like kind of mini palette here. This one is from Etude House, and this one is called the Tiny Sparkle palette. No, Tiny Twinkle palette, and this one I have had for such a long time. I will say that the eyeshadows themselves are very little, but I do love these colors so much, and I feel like they were a little bit ahead of their time, because I remember I used to not like their shimmers because they were more like that topper style shimmer shadow, but now that's like such a popular formula, so I just think I didn't appreciate this as much back then, but now I actually quite like this one. So I definitely got a lot of use out of this one. Very cool tone, silvery taupey kind of colors. Love them. Then for some of my other eyeshadow products, unfortunately I wasn't very good at using the other ones. I kind of like really honed in on the eyeshadow palettes this month, but I have a Urban Decay 24/7 shadow pencil in the color Juju. That one didn't get used. That one's gonna get recycled, I guess. Then I have the Super Shock shadow from Colourpop in the color Shameless. This one's really pretty. It's like a dark green black kind of color, but it's a little bit on the dry side. I think I can maybe try to like make it work for just a little bit while longer, but I just really didn't give it much of a go. Another Colourpop product I didn't get to use was the cream gel color in the color Kicker. It's kind of like a silver tin man, like it's super like bright and shiny, so I definitely want to put that one back in rotation. This one I only used like once or twice. I think I used it maybe like 2 days and I liked it. It's the Sheglam Chromazone liquid eyeshadow in the color Aqua Nova. This one's like a really pretty like turquoisey kind of multichrome. So I did end up using that one twice, and it's just such a pretty color. I love it. I like to apply it like with a really thin, like flat brush, and it just gives you like a really pretty look. This was another eyeshadow I really only used like one time during the week. Another one of the e.l.f. Finest Fleck glitter shadows. This one's called Straight Fire. This one's really pretty because it does have a little bit of like a green to red shift to it. So that is another one I think looks really pretty over like a little bit of a darker shadow. So I wish I would have used this one more throughout the week, but that one did get used. Then unfortunately for my eyeliner, this one I didn't end up using. This one was the Ulta gel eyeliner in the color Silver Dust. That one would have been perfect with the Colourpop cream shadow, but I didn't end up using them. Then for my liquid liner, we were back to using the Misha palette paint liner. Unfortunately, this one I tried the last time, got it to work. This time it just, I'm over it. I'm over it. So this one I think I'm going to officially retire and put it into my makeup graveyard because it just didn't get used enough, and that was all my bad, but I just ended up not loving that one. So I did end up making a midweek swap with the AOA Studio Wonder liquid liner. I don't love this one, but it got the job done. Then for my lip combo for the week, we were back to using the Miss Jo Beauty lip liner in the color Worthy. I really like this one. It's kind of like a mauve-y kind of color. Looks really good on my lip color, so that one was good. And then with that, I paired the Colourpop Lippy Stick in the color Pony. And this one's actually really pretty. I forgot how much I like these lippy sticks, and I'm kind of like getting back into them because I definitely bought several of them when they like first came out. So I love that I'm kind of like rediscovering them. And then I topped it off with a Sheglam. Can barely read this because it's like white text on white packaging. I think it's their lip plumper, and this one's in the color Makin' Me Blush. It's kind of like one of those click up lip products. So this one was perfect to kind of go with that pinky kind of mauve color. So I loved that a lot. And then finally for the setting spray, once again, we are using the e.l.f. Stay All Night Microfine Setting Mist. I do like this one. I almost feel like the mist is too fine though, because I feel like I have to do like 15 sprays of this to get enough of the setting spray onto my face. So I never thought I would have like a makeup setting spray that was too fine of a mist, but this one kind of is. But I would rather it be too fine than like hitting myself in the face with like a Windex. So that is another one, and I really like the scent of this one. It's kind of like that cucumbery fresh kind of smell, so definitely like that one. All right, moving on to week number 3. This one is a sneak peek here. I'm gonna try to go through this quicker. We have another one of the Up You base makers. This is the Glow color. I do like this one the most out of all of the ones in the base maker line because this one does have a little bit more of like a luminance to it, almost a little dewy kind of, not dewy, but like a shimmery kind of look. So this one is my favorite out of all the ones that I've tried from them. For my foundation, I actually used a tinted moisturizer. This is the Pure Lease Sheer Glow Strawberry Vitamin C Tinted Moisturizer. This one is extremely liquidy. Like when I opened it up for the first time to use it during that week, it just like spilled out of here. So I kind of had to like really give it a good shake because I think it maybe separated just a little bit, but it is a very liquidy type of product. But I did really like how this looked on my skin though. But I did need to kind of like set it though, because it was one of those products that is just a little bit more on the like glowy dewy kind of side. So that one definitely had to get set. For my concealer, this was the Up You Cushion Top Concealer. This one I got a million years ago, and the more I think about it, the more I'm like, this was such a ripoff. So I think I've talked about it before, but literally this right here is all the product you get in here, and the rest of this is like just the packaging. So I do not love this one. It's kind of like a cream in a pot, but it's like a thick kind of cream, so it's very hard to get this out of here. I don't know, I think I'm gonna like try to see if I can depot this or something, because it's just, the packaging's not my favorite. For my setting powder, I use the AOA Studio Perfect Setting Powder. I love this one. I've used it so many times, and this is definitely a really good one, and it's so inexpensive. For my blush, I used the Sheglam Ember Rose blush. This one is called Love Language. They call this the Ember Rose Eternal Flame Cream Blush. So that one looks like this. I really like this type of color tone for my skin tone. It looked really, really nice, and it blended out so easily, so it wasn't like crazy dark. It just has a really nice warmth to it, so definitely liked that one. For my highlighter, I once again used another one of my e.l.f. Shimmering Facial Whips. These are so old. I'm not even going to tell you how old they are. I can't remember what color this is. It looks like it is Camellia. It's kind of like a pretty like grayish pink almost, but I swear it looks really, really good on my skin. And I actually use that a couple times to mix in with my tinted moisturizer. For my brows, I use the AOA Studio Brow Gel. This is another one that's really growing on me. It's kind of similar to the, which one? The Misha one. But this one's definitely a little bit more thick and a little bit more creamy and not as transparent as that one. Like this one is like the full coverage version of like the Misha one. But I definitely like this one as well. And there is so much product in here. Like this will probably last a lifetime. For my eyeshadow primer, once again, still using the Luscious Angel eyeshadow primer. I feel like I'm never ever going to finish this up, but still working on it. For my eyeshadow palette, I brought out this one. I remember loving this one when I first got it. It's the Smashbox Full Exposure eyeshadow palette. I remember it being like a super huge ripoff though, price-wise. I think it was like $25 for this, but I thought it was so cool because it was like the size of a credit card, and I got this one here. It's a really pretty kind of like natural neutral everyday kind of palette. It's got 4 mattes on the bottom, 4 shimmers on the top. These are also kind of like that topper style shimmer shadows. So at first I didn't love them, but I'm definitely coming around to it now. So I definitely really like how compact this one is, especially like if you're like traveling with makeup and you don't have a lot of space. Something like this is kind of convenient for that. Another one of my all-time favorite single shadows. This is from Wet n Wild, and this one's called Nutty. I have probably gone through maybe like 4 of these in my life, and I love the shadow so much. This is probably like my favorite single shadow of all time, and it's just your silvery, taupey, shimmery brown kind of color. I could wear this any day, every day with anything, and it would look good. So I definitely love this one. Once again, I had a few products that I didn't end up using. Like I said, I picked a lot of cream products this month and I just was not feeling it. So we have the AOA Studio Neon Buttercream Gel Eyeliner. This one's in the color Optimist. It's kind of like a bright blue. I didn't use that. Another one of the Colourpop cream gels in the color Zulu. This one's like a turquoisey mint kind of color. Didn't use that one. I picked a lot of blues because then I also have the Urban Decay stick in Clash, which was a bright blue. Didn't use it. Blue is just not the vibe this month for me. And then I have the Ulta gel eyeliner in the color Majesty. It's like a purple indigo kind of color. Didn't use that one. So all of those are going back into the rotation. I did, however, use the other Chromazone Sheglam eyeshadow. This one's in the color Opal Essence. And this one's just a really like gorgeous, it almost looks white on here, but when you apply it, it kind of has like a greeny, turquoisey kind of reflex to it. So that one I would apply over just like a regular brown eyeshadow, and it was so pretty. For my liquid liner, I used the Sheglam Wicked Witch eyeliner. This one is from the Wizard of Oz collection. I really like this one. It's a really good one for like just a cheap and expensive like black liquid liner pen. I really like that one. For the lip liner combo, once again, we have the Cosmic Cowgirl AOA Studio lip liner in the color Open Range. I really like these a lot. Then I mixed that with the Too Faced Melted Longwear lipstick in the color Melted Peony. It's been so long since I have used these, but I really liked it. And then this one, this was what I used on top of this one, which was the Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid lipstick in the color Milkshake. This one's very light on its own, so I'd never wear it on its own, but with the lip liner, it made it a little bit more wearable, and then a little bit of the pink on top. It was a nice combo, but I am just so not into liquid lipsticks anymore, so that is quite unfortunate because I do have a big collection of them. And finally, we have the Tony Moly Pocket Bunny Sleek Mist Setting Spray. This one, it's kind of hard to tell how much is in here because I can't see, but it kind of feels a little light, so I think I might be close to about halfway of finishing this one. All right, and finally, for the last week of September, we have a sneak peek here. I'm going to try to go through these very quickly as well. For my primer, we have another one of the Up-U Base Makers. This one was the Boyan one, which is like the brightening one. It's like a white kind of one. So didn't love this one. Maybe I'll use it more in the winter time when I'm already white as white anyway, but overall, just using it to use it up. The original foundation I chose for this week was the Hard Candy Glamouflage foundation. However, this one only had a tiny bit here. Like really, I did use a lot of this up, but when I tried to use it up again for this month, it has like thickened so bad. Like it's not usable. It is like it's like clay thick at this point. So this one I did have to abandon, but I used like 98% of this, so I think I am going to call this an empty and not a makeup graveyard, because honestly there's probably only about like maybe 3 uses left in this at all. So I unfortunately was not able to use that for this week, so I did a swap in, and this is the foundation that I had forgotten that I loved so much. This is the Maybelline Fit Me. This is the Dewy and Smooth formula, and this one is in the color 1-5 Ivory. I think the color is a little bit warmer than what I would want, but I forgot how much I love the formula of this. This is what I mean by when I put a foundation on and I don't like immediately tell that there's foundation like sitting on my skin. This one just like blended so nicely, and at the end of the day it didn't look dry and cakey and cracked or anything. So this is one I really want to come back to, and this is another one I'm almost like finished with as well, but I definitely think I've probably got maybe like a week or 2 of product left in here, so maybe we'll see this one again because I just forgot how much I love this formula. And I just feel like for me there are so many foundations that like I try and I like how they look initially, but at the end of the day it's like a totally different story. So this was one that actually looked really good. Like even after I went to the gym and I was sweating, like it still looked good on my face, like not bad. So I definitely think this might be one I revisit and maybe like find another color for me, because I think the color was good but it was just a little bit more orangey than I wanted. So definitely something I think I will revisit. For my concealer, I am using the LA Girl Pro Concealer HD Concealer in the color Peach Corrector. I think now they have one that is a lighter one, which I think would work better for me. Typically this is something that I would apply on my under eyes and then I would put like a skin tone one on top of it, but I did end up just using this one alone for most of the week. And I think it worked out pretty well, but I do prefer using a little bit of more of a skin tone one to kind of like cover up. Like this is the corrector and then I use the concealer to brighten, but it did work pretty well on its own for the week. For my setting powder, I used once again the Hard Candy Blurring and Pore Refining Loose Powder. This one's definitely growing on me. It does have a little bit more of like a peachy kind of color to it, but I don't mind it. For my contour, we have the, I think it's Peri Para? Yes, Peri Para Nose Up Shading. This was one I used a while back. It's actually like a nose contour, but the little sponge off of it broke off. So I actually just used it to, I would apply it like to the sides of my face, my forehead, and then blend it in with a brush. And I'm still trying to use it up. It's kind of like one of those like little clicky pins that used to have like the little sponge tip there, but I'm still making it work. I am gonna get every last bit of it. It's a really good color though. I used it today and I feel like it gives just a really natural kind of look to the skin. For my blush, I use the Etude Colorful Drawing Balsam Flower Watercolor Blush in the color Balsam Flower Red is the color actually. This one's really pretty. It's a little bit more of like a warm red toned kind of blush, but once again, I really like how that looked on my skin tone. So this one's really good because it has such a light coverage to it, so like you can build it up. If you want like a really intense color, you can kind of get there, but overall you can't overdo it with this type of blush product. Watercolor blush is really like the perfect name for it because it does have that sheerness to it. Then for my highlighter, this is a product that I got from a BoxyCharm box. This is from Trace. They call this the mini highlighter stick. It's called Maldives Luminescent. This one I actually kind of liked. I'm not typically a fan of highlighting sticks, but this one was actually really easy to use. It blended really well. I just swiped it on my face, blended it out with my finger, and I actually really liked it. I think the first time I tried it I thought it was okay, but this one's kind of growing on me. I definitely thought this one was pretty good. It gives you like a very natural highlight too. Like if you're wanting like some crazy intense like highlighted to the gods type of highlighter, that's not going to give you that, but it does give you a really nice natural skin-like kind of highlighter. For my brows, once again, we have the Cella Tantalizing Taupe Eyebrow Cream. This one I have used several times. It's what I use today on my brows as well. So I think this one really like color-wise, if I use it very light-handedly, it gives me a really nice color, especially when my hair's a little on the gray side. This one is a little bit on the dark brown, but if I use it very sparingly, I can make it work. Moving on to my eyeshadow primer, this one is the Etude House Proof 10 Eye Primer. I don't like this one. I'm just using it to use it up. The packaging shape is not very good. It's kind of like that original Urban Decay Primer Potion shape. There's so much product in here that I just cannot get to because of the shape of the product, so it's a little frustrating. I think I am at the point where I will have to take the stopper out just so I can like get to the product, but I'm just using this to use it up. I do not like this primer. I would not recommend it. For my eyeshadow, I went simple this week. I just picked one mini palette, and this one was actually one I got in PR from the brand ZC, and I had it for a while and I just like forgot about it, and I brought it out this week. It's such a simple palette. It's like a little kitty cat on the front. It's very, very cute. I don't know if there's a name. It's all in Japanese. I cannot read Japanese. I am so sorry. But it looks like this. It's a very small petite palette, but I love this one. This is such a good, like, this is actually what I'm using today. You can wear this like anytime and it's pretty. You have two mattes. You've got like a cream here, and you've got like a warm brown, and then you've got like a satiny pink shimmer here, and then you've got like that silvery champagne sparkle shadow type of formula, and I love it. I can just get away with using those two colors, and it's just such a pretty everyday kind of makeup look. So I am so like sad that I have not given this a go sooner. It's very, very pretty and I love it, and once again very small and compact, and you can get the job done. So then for my eyeliner, I had kind of like a little bit of a weird situation, but I decided that I wanted to use, like, I had a whole bunch of these magnetic eyeliners, and they're meant to be used like with the magnetic lashes, and you just apply this like to your like eyeliner like regular, and then the magnetic lashes stick to it. So I had a whole bunch of them because I really got into some magnetic lashes like a couple years back, and I hadn't used them in a while, and I was like, you know what, I can still use them as regular eyeliner. So I broke one out. This one was the Kiss magnetic eyeliner, and I tried to use it. When I opened it up, it is completely dried up, and I've only had this for like, I don't know, maybe 3 years, maybe. But it's like completely dried up, like not usable at all. So then I was like, oh, well dang, I let that go bad. That really kind of sucks. So then I decided to grab one of the other ones that I had. This one was from, I think, an Amazon brand. And when I grabbed this one and tried to open it, it's like glued shut. Like I cannot get this open. And needless to say, it is not usable either. So then I was like, dang, okay, I guess all of the ones that I have must be bad. So I tried the other two that I had. They're dried up. And then I had a third different brand that I had, and it dried up as well. So that brings me to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 magnetic eyeliners that are all dried up and not usable. So all 5 of these are going to my makeup graveyard, unfortunately. So that really sucked, not gonna lie, and is kind of the reason why I am trying to do this whole shop my stash, like going through all of my makeup products, and number 1, shaming myself for letting products go bad, number 2, getting the bad products out of my collection, and number 3, motivating myself to not let that happen again. So those are kind of like some of the 3 big things I'm trying to accomplish with like rotating through all of my makeup collection like I'm trying to do, because it really just sucks that I let that many products go bad. So unfortunately I did have to do a swap in for the LA Colors liquid liner. This is another one. I don't really like this one. This one I think is the one that like balls up like whenever I remove it. Like, you know how sometimes you'll remove liquid liner and it just like fades away with the makeup wipe, and then some like turn into like a little plastic stringy mess? I think that's what this one does. This one, and I think the Bella Pierre one. So I do not like these. I'm just using them to use them up to not let them go bad, but I actually don't like these ones. Then for my lip combo, this is another one. I love this combo. So I have the Sheglam Marilyn Monroe lip liner. This one is in the color Fear is Stupid. Love this one. It's a really great like everyday kind of color for me. And then I forgot how much I love these lipsticks. These are the Revlon Super Lustrous lipsticks. This one's number 44, Bare Affair. I love this color so much, and I really love how it looks with this lip gloss, which is another Sheglam. This is the Ember Rose lip gloss. They call this one, Ooh, this super tiny print. They call this the Immortal Love Nourishing Lip Gloss. And this one's in the color Unconditional. I love this formula. Sheglam does lip liners really well. They do lip glosses really well. Those are some of my favorite products from Sheglam. It's very glossy and plush, but it's not like sticky, which I love. So these are so comfortable. The color looks so good. Those are the colors I'm wearing on my lips today, and I love it so, so much. And then for my setting spray, I decided to throw in the Twilight Saga Sheglam setting spray because I did in my review kind of like leave you guys on a little bit of a cliffhanger with like not knowing exactly how I felt about the product. But now that I've used it for the full week, I definitely have some opinions on it. So number one, packaging, theming, all that, very, very cute. Number two, the actual product itself. So every time I used it, I would shake it up because it is like a dual phase kind of product, like a water and an oil. So I would always shake it up before I sprayed it. So it's like that. It's all kind of like semi-mixed together. The first time I tried spraying it without mixing it together, I did a spritz and I could see little red tinted oil drops on my face. Like you could see the red color in the drops. So that's why I started like shaking it up, and that definitely did help. However, with this being like an oily setting spray, it absolutely leaves a very glossy, dewy, wet look to the skin that does not go away. So every time I use this, if I just did like a spritz or two, it would kind of be okay and I could live with it. But if I kind of like overdid it or was really trying to get the product onto my face, I looked like a glazed donut. If you guys look at my short video on this collection, I included like a before and after with the product sprayed onto my face, and I just look like a glossy donut. So I actually end up having to like set my setting spray with a powder, which is so backwards because usually you set your face with the setting powder and then you use the setting spray to kind of like break up the powder a little bit and make it really blend into the skin. But then I had to go back again and use a setting powder. So I do think it's like a really cutesy kind of product, and I will use it to use it up, but it does give you such a glossy like glazed donut look. It's not my favorite. If you're an oily girl, I would definitely stay away from it because it's just going to exacerbate the oil. And me as a dry skin girl, it was too glossy for me as like a bone dry skin girl. So for me personally, it just wasn't my favorite. I will continue to use it because I bought it and I want to like not waste it and stuff like that, but not my favorite product. Alright guys, and that is it for all of my products from my Shop My Stash for September. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and like I said, I am going to be like breaking up the video into two parts for next month. So we're going to do the shopping portion and then we're going to do the same review portion as well. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that. Definitely let me know on that video if you like the idea of having the shopping portion, because otherwise I would just pick things out on my own. But I did get a few comments of people wanting to see me actually share that process with you guys. So I thought that would be a fun video to do. We can try it for next month. Let me know if you like it. If you don't like it, we can always go back to the regular format because you're not really losing anything. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe. You can follow me on social media. Links are below. And until my next video, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.